Some individuals try to predict the future by looking up at the stars. Some simply open history books. However, what if there was a man who had an impact centuries after his passing in addition to his own time? And what if, hundreds of years later, people are still discussing that man? I see. We will explore the dark, enigmatic, and contentious prophecies of Nostradamus, one of the most well-known seers in history, in this video. Was the future truly visible to him? Or are we simply trying to make the things that happen to us fit his ambiguous verses? Get your tea or coffee, because we are about to embark on a terrifying adventure that will include everything from wars to earthquakes, from massive fires to the collapse of empires. Let's begin with a straightforward inquiry. Who was this man? Michel de Nostredame was his true name. He was born in France around 1503. In the midst of the Renaissance, when religious disputes, wars, and epidemics were commonplace, he was a doctor at first, someone who worked with science, treated patients, and battled against plague epidemics. However, he also had an interest in the mystical arts, astronomy, and the stars. Later in life, he would spend his evenings jotting down bizarre visions while gazing up at the stars. Then he collected them, and he released one of the world's most contentious books in 1555, the Prophecies, or Les Prophéties. There are hundreds of quatrain-written poems inside. These quatrains lack specified events, people, and dates, but it's precisely this ambiguity that makes him so well-liked and contentious. He is referred to as a charlatan by others. He is referred to by some as the man who saw across the ages. How, therefore, did Nostradamus compose his prophecies? We must first recognize that he employed mixed language, Old French, Latin, Greek, and sometimes even Hebrew words. They are all entangled. Additionally, he employs an almost coded language that includes ambiguous dates, unintelligible symbols, metaphors, and abruptly broken phrases. Why would he adopt such a style? One interpretation holds that Nostradamus purposefully wrote in an ambiguous manner, because the church was quite strong during his lifetime. He ran the risk of being called a heretic or sorcerer and burned if he explicitly declared, "This year, this disaster will happen." Another interpretation holds that he was solely influenced by symbols and never had clear vision. Astrological computations, dreams, and visions all mingle together. The outcome? Verses that are hauntingly similar to some particular events, but adaptable enough to be used in nearly any situation. And that's precisely where the actual discussion starts. Let's go on to the truly thrilling section now. Let's examine a few instances of Nostradamus's predictions that are said to have come true. London's Great Fire. A substantial portion of London was destroyed in a big fire that started in 1666. Nostradamus's quatrain is frequently connected to that incident. A great fire will devour the city near the year 666, and the blood of the just will be demanded of London. The year is 1666. Event: the city was completely consumed by a massive fire. Near the year 666 appears in the text. Right now, is this just a coincidence, or did he truly anticipate it? The viewer has the last say on it. 3.2. Hitler and Napoleon. Some of Nostradamus's quatrains contain the following phrases: Great Emperor, Western Leader, Bloody Wars, and a Despot who Devastates Europe. Subsequent observers linked these to Napoleon Bonaparte, Adolf Hitler as well. In reality, the word hister appears in a few passages. Although it was originally associated with Hitler, this is actually the name of a river. Was Hitler what he truly meant? Or did people interpret events after they had already occurred? This question remains unanswered because to Nostradamus's ambiguous phrasing. 3.3. Earthquakes, revolutions, and wars. He frequently mentions the following in his prophecies: great conflicts, starvation, seismic activity, solar and lunar eclipses, rising waters, and floods. Naturally, there have been many similar incidents throughout history. Thus, his quatrains can be applied to practically every significant catastrophe. The greatest critique of Nostradamus is as follows: is this a true prophecy? Or is it simply the human mind's quest for purpose? We're heading into more unpleasant terrain now. Some of Nostradamus's quatrains are seen as ominous future events that are purportedly still to come. This section is fully up to interpretation. You are going to hear contemporary interpretations of Nostradamus's ambiguous verses. According to some contemporary analysts, he predicted a third major conflict in the future. One of his quatrains contains pictures such as great cities burning. The seas seem to be full of blood. A major struggle between the North and the South. According to some, this means Korea's North and South. Some as Western and Eastern blocs, others as a worldwide division. Once more, the date is unclear. No specific nation names. However, the emblems serve as a reminder of the current political unrest. Some as Western and Eastern blocs, others as a worldwide division. Once more, the date is unclear. No specific nation names. However, the emblems serve as a reminder of the current political unrest. Natural calamities are another issue that Nostradamus often discusses. In his poetry, he discusses massive waves hitting cities along the coast. Cities are being destroyed. Fire raining from the sky. Seasonal variations. Many individuals have begun to interpret these verses as climate catastrophes, in light of the current climate crisis, rising natural disasters, and erratic weather patterns that are frequently reported in the media. Was it possible for him to look into the future? Or do his remarks just apply to any era because humanity has always experienced tragedies? Nostradamus frequently discusses illness and epidemics, since he personally experienced and battled the plague. In a few quatrains, he states, "A fresh evil, an unseen foe that targets both young and old. The closure of great cities." The COVID-19 epidemic brought Nostradamus's name back into the public eye. "Look, he predicted this too," some said as they shared those texts. But once more, the same query. Is the event being bent to fit the prophecy? Or did the prophecy already fit the event? Thus far, we have examined Nostradamus's forecasts, some of which have been associated with the past and others with the future. Let's now discuss the most profound aspect of all of this. Was Nostradamus truly able to predict the future? We must keep this in mind. The search for meaning is a passion of the human intellect. We look for patterns, meanings, and signals even in seemingly random events. If you truly want to, You can fit Nostradamus's quatrains to the 1600s, 1900s, or 2000s because they are so ambiguous and metaphorical. For this reason, several historians claim it's astute observation, not prophecy. He had a thorough understanding of human nature, the cycle of war, and the rise and fall of kingdoms, and he enveloped everything in a timeless, symbolic form. In actuality, it's possible that he only observed that history repeats itself, rather than being able to see the future. However, a sizable portion of the population actually believes in Nostradamus. As stated by them, among the dates in his quatrains, among the geographical cues, additionally, specific narrative patterns are too precise to be classified as coincidental. You either have to be a time traveler to know so many things with this level of accuracy, they say, or you're actually obtaining information from another source. Naturally, this is not supported by any scientific evidence. However, for believers, the fit and the sensation are more important than the facts. So why are we still discussing Nostradamus in the 21st century, with all of our sophisticated technology? There are several explanations. There is a lot of ambiguity in our environment. Natural disasters, pandemics, wars, and crises. People are drawn to things that have been said before. Prophecies are excellent narrative fodder. Mystery, drama, disaster, and hope are all present. They all adore this type of content: movies, TV series, YouTube videos, etc. Nostradamus is now revered. His name alone now denotes the man who saw the future, in addition to his forecasts. Perhaps the most significant explanation is prophecies serve as a reminder of the constant aspects of human nature, such as our hopes, worries, and fixation with the question, what will happen tomorrow? Now it's your turn. Do you think Nostradamus was truly a seer who could see the future? Or was he a smart man with keen observation skills, simply a child of his time? Are we the ones who read his verses and bend them to match what has already happened? Or did he really foresee the chaos we're living in today, long before we were born? Let's meet in the comments. Thanks for watching.